author, John Foster, and I'd like to welcome you to Messin' with Old Thunder, the first viddy book published by the Vidicord Company of Toronto, and we think an exciting renewal of storytelling in its ancient oral form. Messin' with Old Thunder is a collage of stories about working in John Grierson's National Film Board in the 1940s. The propaganda ship as seen from the engine room rather than the poop deck. And as life is a terribly personal thing, these are personal stories from a time in my life when priorities and values were very different from those we find comfort in today. Sometimes reflecting the innocence and stupidity of my youth, and other times timeless harmonics of living and growing up. This viddy book, though, is not so much about self as about the National Film Board that shaped myself and how in some tiny little ways I may have shaped it. The NFB was important back in the early 40s. In wartime, a country that doesn't think it can be defeated cannot be defeated. And the Film Board was a major muscle in Canada's unarmed forces, functioning as the 4th National Defence Service after the Army, Navy, and Air Force. But it also constituted an exciting new thunder in communications and social advocacy. Canada was the first country in the world to get it all together in the making of documentary films. All of it, from the concept to cranking out release prints for cinemas and 16mm prints to circuit men, some of whom in wilderness areas used dog sleds and snowmobiles to get their projection paraphernalia and little home-light generators over to eager audiences. The NFB was a little group of workers in a totally unique atmosphere, utterly dedicated to the idea that they create a better world by through the use of documentary films to motivate people in positive social directions. It became monastic. It was a little monastery where every monk was his own man, dressed in his own robes, individualistic beyond compromise. Yet in this mosaic of infinite fractions, all were dedicated to the one central idea that the NFB was important to the country, loyal to its people, and the first organization of its kind in the world. We made the NFB, and I suppose it made us. These stories are recorded in video form because, having spent my whole life in screen images, this is the only medium I really can manage with, and perhaps the only one I really trust. You should also know that Old Thunder is my God, my personal God. He talks to me and I talk to him. He knows me, I know him. It's been that way for a long, long time, so framing these stories as personal reports to Old Thunder is the most natural thing on earth to me. So now, without further ado, let's just get messin' with Old Thunder.